Basically, the email short film also focused somewhat on David Mayer de Rothschild. And David Mayer de Rothschild doesn't mind meeting people at all and talking to them. He just doesn't want to talk to me. David Rothschild would rather sit on the end of the phone, having managed to link in or use surveillance in the house. I don't know. Unfortunately, I think it probably has gone that far, and just not bother being anything more than a taker. And it's not that I wouldn't have liked to know him, I just would rather that he would distance himself from my house now and my telephone line and my communication system. And he's hacked my notes when he didn't need to. My objection has been that you don't need to stand next to a supermodel to be somebody. If you're married, you're married, and if you're sitting there going nit, particularly when you're using technologies that I've been instrumental in and have been pushing forward, and then have decided, well, I'll just do a bunk with all that information and spend millions of pounds on something, having kind of built my reputation as a nice guy, on something that I was prepared to give him because I knew he was into sailing, and if he regrets it now, then he shouldn't have done it in the first place. In fact, they shouldn't ever have been involved until I walked through that door and said, may I present my designs? And I should have had some money behind me because, people do come from nothing. The Rothschilds themselves came, I think, with very little, and made something out of very little, which is what I respect really about that organisation. And also I associate them with wine products and not just money. And in fact, the way I've been designing sailing boats has been because I've seen the mistakes they've made, and they think, well, you do that, and that's how it pushed forward. However, I know that had I watched Pierre Casaraghi having his accident, and I know he did have one, I would have maybe have come up with the same thing, but I didn't. That's the reality of it. But they haven't been generous, and he is currently sitting on that massive boat, with dairy-free hot chocolate, editing my videos. I've told him how to run the Sculpt the Future charity, and he hasn't responded to my email, and actually that's a very productive and very potentially that's a big earner, and it would sort a lot out for people who don't have anything. As charities are supposed to be operating in that manner, they are supposed to be operating in that manner. It's not supposed to be something that just gives you a nice image and something to read and then not do anything about. So it's not, I take it seriously in as much as I'm beginning to find all this tiresome, and I have been very, very badly treated, and he hasn't stepped in for me. He would prefer to hang about with real idiots like Bluebell's dad. It's that comedian that was dating Jerry Halliwell, etc. And the next one will be David Beckham will want to go in about, because I drive fast cars and I like breaking the speed limit all over the world, and he says that's all right, and I'm hanging about with Helena Christensen because I want to go in the St. Helena. I'm whistling for it. I'm putting something in that will replace all Snow White's high hos. The reason I'm just so not into you, it's unbelievable. And that's why I hope you live a long natural life, David, just because, but at the end of the day it's just getting so tiresome, it's unbelievable. Stop editing my legitimate videos, please. We're done.